As we get closer to the end of Q2, we're approaching what's called earnings season, which has potential to make huge waves in the market or not. Robert Roy here, founder of WealthBuildersHQ.com, and today I'm going to show you how to navigate earnings as a trader. So what the heck are earnings in the first place? See, every publicly traded company, every single quarter has to announce what their earnings were for the shareholders. Well, what does that mean? They're going to let us, investors, shareholders, traders know, hey, this is how much earnings per share we made last quarter. And in this case, we're talking Q2 coming up now. So how much did we make in Q2 for our earnings? And that is per share. What does earnings mean if you're an investor versus a trader? Well, as an investor, you are earning, the company you're investing in is earning X per share. If they were supposed to earn $1 and they earn $1.01, they earn more money than they were supposed to. You've invested in that company and they're growing, so that's good for you. As a trader, it means volatility. As you step in as a trader, huge volatility tends to focus around earnings. Now, I'm not talking about around the $2 stock that's been $2 for the last 10 years and hasn't moved. I'm talking about you look at an Apple, an Amazon, a Netflix, a Google, a Baidu, a Booking, some of the banks even. You could see huge swings from that. It also means an increase, if it's an increase in volatility, it's an increase in options pricing. What does that mean? Larger bid-ask spreads, overvalued options. Whew. You know, somebody like, Rob, you're scaring the daylights out of me. Should I trade earnings or should I just stop, taboo, stay away? No, listen, there's many ways that you can trade earnings. We'll talk about in a few moments, but should you trade them? The answer is yes. As an investor, are you really going to take your money out of the market every time earnings come out? That's not what an investor does. You're riding the waves in there. Now, if there's belief that you bought a stock at 12 and it's at 42 right now, and all the rumblings say, maybe not so good, I should get out of this trade, that's a different scenario. You might make a decision based on impending news coming out around that, right? Martha Stewart going to jail, great example, right? When she was going to jail, you knew it was an upcoming event, or she was in court, right? We didn't know she was going to jail. We knew, but we didn't know that she was going to jail, right? When that happened, could that dramatically affect a stock? Same thing, right? So the answer is, should you trade earnings? Yes. As a trader, I love earnings. We'll talk about it in just a sec on how we handle that. So what's the magic formula? What's the right way to trade earnings? Well, again, no right way, right? You could get very lucky and buy an option or a stock a day, a week, a month before earnings come out, and it gaps and just runs in your direction and you crush it. More luck than anything else, right? Oh, but I knew. Yeah, but you really don't, okay? You believe, you think, you feel it in your belly, maybe, but you really don't know if it's going to go in your direction or not. We used to do a trade setup called a chicken trade. And it was a chicken, or I would be a chicken, you would be a chicken, afraid to pick direction because we don't know where it's going. So what do? We trade both sides. We buy a call and we buy a put. But market makers had figured that out. We had taught that when I was teaching it to tens of thousands of students. It got so played out, the market maker said, no worries, about 2, 3, 4 weeks before the earnings come out, we're going to start jacking up implied volatility. We're going to start jacking up the price of the option. We're going to open the bid-ask spread, and if it moves the normal amount it's expected to, the stock, you're going to lose money. That's what wound up happening with that trade. So for me, my preference is let the announcement happen. The announcement comes out tonight at 4:15, but the market's closed. See, it is. It's closed. So what do? If the market's closed, how do we take advantage of it? Well, there's a couple of things. You can trade futures at night. We have a strategy that we teach inside of the E-mini think tank where we actually go ahead and train you on how to trade the NQ, which is the NASDAQ, in the aftermarket session for NASDAQ stocks. The Netflixes, the Apples, the Amazons, the Googles, and so forth of the world. How do we take advantage of those? There's about 15 or so stocks that you can trade in that kind of market. Now, there are some rules associated with it. Don't really have the time to do it here, but go ahead and check that out. I'll put a link down in the description below, and you can go check out what we're talking about there as far as that trade setup goes. But for me, let's say that all these investors, traders, bought these options, these shares yesterday, and bad news comes out on that stock overnight tonight when the announcement comes out. What happens to the stock? In the overnight market, it comes plummeting. All those investors, traders are scrambling now to get out of the position. What do you do? What do you do? Well, you're stuck, right? So what's the market maker doing? They're jacking premiums up. Or dropping premiums depending on which side of the market you're on, right? If you bought call options, meaning you think the stock's going up, and if you don't remember it, there's a phone example, right? When you want to place a phone call, pick the phone up. To place a call, pick up the phone. When you buy a call, you think the stock's going up. When you're done talking, put the phone down. When you buy a put, you think the stock's going down. Use that example, it'll help you remember the difference. So if you bought a call option thinking the stock's going up and it comes crashing down, what's the market maker doing? They've completely deflated those options in there. Oh, they're crushing the premium on it. They're ripping it right out. Well, as premiums are dropping, I'm stepping in and going, thank you. I'll take one of those and two of these. Ooh, and let me have one of those at the same time. Right? I'm buying the options as the market maker is undervaluing the price because they can't leave it there. The option was selling at $8 yesterday. The market opened today. It's now $3. But the fair value of the option is $5. So if I buy it at $3 and just sit back and just hang out a little bit and wait for that price to come back to normal, which it needs to, the market maker can't keep it undervalued forever because there will be an imbalance. Traders will start buying that up if they see that imbalance happening in there, meaning it's too undervalued for the position. So for Rob, for me, what's the best strategy? Trade it after the announcement comes out, right? Earnings is a phenomenal strategy. You need to find the right stocks and trade the right system for it, which we teach to our students all the time. There are certain systems that work better than others, and I just went through with you. Wait until after the announcement to give you the best opportunity. Does that mean that you can't be profitable by trading before the announcement? Of course not. Number one, there's always people getting lucky. That happens. Number two, it could have just worked out. They didn't overvalue that one too much and so forth. For me, I'll wait until after the announcement. I love it. I trade it all the time. I look forward to earnings season. I am like a kid on Christmas morning. All right, let's go. Who's announcing today? Just waiting for those setups. Question of the day is this: which companies are you watching during earnings? Let me know in the comment section down below. Until next time, stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it, and remember, you're just one trade away. Take care, and I will see you at our next update. Folks, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the training. Now, if you did, be sure to give us a thumbs up and go ahead and hit the subscribe button right over here and hit the bell to keep up with all the latest trading content. And oh, did you know that we have a podcast? Supercharge your trading education with the Stock Market Millionaire, which you can find in the description down below. And while you're there, you can also find other amazing free trading resources that I put together just for you.